Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back. It's 10 o'clock. We'll get started. Om. Anत्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवत् ॐ गणेशाय नमः ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननम् वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्य केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं यस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम्. Let us do the Gita Dhyanam. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धम् गीतामृतम् महत् वसुदेवसुतम् देवम् कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकीः परमानन्दम् कृष्णम् वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकर दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजम् कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकम् करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुम् लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहम् वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यम् ब्रह्मा रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यम् सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यम् योगिनः यस्यान्तम् न विदुः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकम् शरणम् व्रज अहम् त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः शान्ताकारम् भुजगशयनम् पद्मनाभम् सुरेशम् विश्वाधारम् गगनसदृशम् मेघवर्णम् शुभाङ्गम् लक्ष्मीकान्तम् कमलनयनम् योगिभृद्ध्यानगम्यम् वन्दे विष्णुम् भवभयहरम् सर्वलोकैकनाथम् नारायणम् नमस्कृत्य नरम् चैव नरोत्तमम् दैवीम् सरस्वतीम् व्यासम् ततो जयमुदीरये। Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our Gita Bhāva Dhārā series. After contemplating on chapters 1 and 2 in the first 10 hours of our journey, we started and entered into chapter 3 last week. Just to give a little bit of recap, because it's all applicable to all of us grihasthas. We saw that the third chapter began with a doubt from Arjuna. Arjuna uvacha jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Arjuna asked here, Bhagwan, if the path of knowledge is superior, why are you asking me to take this path of karma? Should I renounce actions or should I perform my karma? Arjuna, if you recall, hated the thought of war at that moment and called it Ghora Karma. Hey Janardhana, in your mata, in your opinion, if the wisdom or Jnana Marga is superior to karma, tat kim niyojayasi. Why then niyojayasi mam? Why do you urge me to do this ghora karmani, to this horrible, cruel action? Why are you asking me to do this? Vyameshvedeva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyohamapnuyam. Hey Bhagwan, your words seem to be contradicting. It is confusing to me. Vada nischitya, please decide and tell me. Yena shreyohamapnuyam, what is good for me? Please tell me that. See, Arjuna's confusion here, just like all of us, is at two different levels. We saw last week. This is a case of classic why me? Why me, Bhagavan question. We saw in our analysis that this is not a doubt. It is mix-up of the two levels. From a paramarthika satta, from a paramarthik absolute standpoint, I am not the doer. But from a vyavaharika satta, from a transactional standpoint, I must act in the world. Here, Arjuna wants to jump renunciation to renunciation without doing any sadhana. No preparatory work. It's like he wants to jump to a 5,000 level course, a graduate level course, skipping all the prerequisites. How is it going to work? But Bhagavan Krishna starts to clarify. Sri Bhagavanuvāca Lokesmin Dvividha Nishta Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Saṅkhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Here Bhagavan Krishna begins to answer Arjuna's question that there are two lifestyles. One is pravritti marga. He can become a karma yoga nishta through social life, through community serving, or nivritti marga or gnana yoga nishta through a life of seclusion, secluded life. But there is no choice between karma and gnana, karma and knowledge. Whatever lifestyle one chooses, one has to do the relevant karmas on that path. The path of knowledge or gnana marga is for the prepared mind, whereas path of action or karma yoga is for purification, chitta shuddhi. Karma yoga or performing selfless actions prepares us for Jnana Yoga, for the right inquiry, developing Viveka, as a byproduct developing Vairagya, Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti, 6 disciplines, spiritual disciplines, the necessary qualifications. So one's mind is purified and subtle enough, having acquired these qualifications, a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari can go directly on the path of knowledge. So they are not contradictory, meaning karma and jnana, they are not contradictory, but they are complementary to each other. Karma yoga prepares the mind, and jnana yoga helps us to go beyond the mind. Then Bhagavan Krishna clarified as to why it is not possible to attain moksha free from our activities, free from karma. Or by mere external renunciation. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krite karyate hyavashat karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. Bhagavan Krishna said a state of inaction is impossible, even for a moment, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit karyate hyavashya karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. We saw last week. To do or not to do is not a choice we have. The choice is in the type of action. The choice is in the kind of attitude with which we do action. That matters. Right action, dharmic action. With the right attitude, it prepares us for knowledge. We saw quite a few references supporting this argument. For example, in Viveka Chudamani, we saw Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma Natu Vastu Upalabdaye. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naikena amrutatva manashuhu. Not by karma, not by progeny, not by wealth, only by renunciation. Even in Upadeshasara from Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, we saw Ishwararpitam Nechaya Kritam Chittashodhakam Mukti Sadhakam. I'm re-emphasizing this because this is a very important aspect of it. We also saw last week a very simple example to illustrate this, a very powerful example from Atma Bodha. Thank you for all the comments on that. Bodhonya sadhanebhyo hi sakshan mokshaika sadhanam. Moksha eka sadhanam. Pakasya vanivatnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. How? Pakasya. For cooking, vahnivat. Just as we need the fire, which is the most important aspect of cooking, Jnanam vina mokshaha na siddhyati. Without this Atma Jnana, liberation is not possible. Bhagavan Śaṅkara said, this pot, this water, rice, in this example that we discussed last week, they all prepare the condition for cooking. They're all a part of the karma. But fire alone does the actual transformation. Karma alone prepares the seeker and Jnana liberates the seeker. Wisdom derived from that knowledge reveals that we were never bound in the first place. To begin with, we were never bound at all. Now, today, we will see how Bhagavan Krishna takes this teaching on karma yoga a little deeper. He answers how karma is not only unavoidable, but wrong understanding of renunciation is dangerous. Now he begins to explain. What is this false renunciation? What is this true karma yoga? How this karma must be done with the yagna spirit? How it becomes a sacred oblation? How this entire universe is sustained by this selfless action? With that, we will see further. Karmendriyani sanyamya. Karmendriyani sanyamya. Yaaste manasa smaran. Yaaste manasa smaran. Karmendriyani sanyamya. Yaaste manasa smaran. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Mithyacharasa uchyate. One more time together. Karmendriyani sanyamya. Yaaste manasa smaran. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Mithyacharasa uchyate. Here Bhagavan Krishna is saying a mind without any sort of engagement, any sort of occupation. What will happen to it? It becomes idle. Like they say, an idle man's mind, an idle man's brain is devil's workshop. What does it do? It'll brood over all sensory pleasures. Bhagavan Krishna calls him a hypocrite. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Mithyacharasa uchyate. Mithyachara. What happens to such a hypocrite? Such a deluded mind? We have seen that ladder of fall in the second chapter, 2-62 and 63. Such a hypocritical mind will soon fall. Pranashyati. Here, Bhagavan Krishna is painting the portrait of a pretentious sadhaka, or a sannyasi even, who has become a renunciate in haste, renounces all activities and pretends. He calls him mithyachari, hypocrite, spiritual hypocrite. And generally we call them simply escapists from the duty. We have seen many like that. And even in Bhaja Govindam, how Bhagavan Śaṅkaracharya ji scolded these type of hypocrites. Jatilo mundi lunchita keshaha kashayambar bahukruta veshaha pashyannapi chana pashyati mudaha udara nimittam bahukruta veshaha udara nimittam bahukruta veshaha. This is a scolding for this pretentious sannyasi. Not to focus on appearances. And sannyasa is an internal renunciation, not an external appearance. Jatilo mundi. There is one with a matted locks, hair and all that. You can see them in this Kumbh Mela and all those. Some are mundi, the one with a clean shaven head. Lunchita keshaha. Another one with his hairs pulled. Kashayambara bahukruta veshaha. There are some who are parading with different shades of orange. Pashyannapi. Even after seeing all this, na pashyati. He does not see. Mudaha, he calls it. Fool. Because this is bahukruta veshaha. This is just a makeup. Roles of exterior appearances. All for what? Udara nimittam. For the sake of livelihood. Cheap stunts that they do. This was Bhaja Govinda. Here Bhagavan Krishna calls this such a person here in Bhagavad Gita as a self-deluded hypocrite. Leading a shameless life of low motives. This is false renunciation. We have to be extremely cautious of such people. If it can fool Sita Mata, remember what Ravana chose to do this Vesha? He came in the form of a sannyasi. Deception. Now, how should one do karma? If this is not the way, what to do? We have already seen this, a 3-point plan given by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. The Arpita Buddhi, dedicating the actions to the Lord. Becoming his instrument of action. Developing the prasada buddhi, accepting results as they come, as his prasada, as Bhagavan's prasada. That is when we eliminate karma to karma yoga. Now let's see how Bhagavan Krishna enumerates this principle in the Bhagavad Gītā. Yasvindriyani manasa niyamya rabhaterjuna niyamya rabhaterjuna yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabhaterjuna कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. One more time together. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabhaterjuna कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. This is the essence of doing the right action. This is a technique for right living. This is economies of thought that our ancestors came up with as efficiency in our thinking. See, we generally think food, physical food that we consume physically is the only form of food. But we also feed the mind. That is also ahara. We can say food for thought. It is constantly fed with all sorts of sensory pursuits, sensory input. It gets nurtured by our gnanendriyas, our organs of perception. Food from the outer world, external world. So we have seen this in our basic Vedanta modules and many other Prakarana Granthas we have studied. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Indriya Sayama. And then the mind is given broader ideas, divine ideas, slowly withdrawing, not by suppressing the thoughts, but sublimating the organs of perception from their unprofitable field of engagement, withdrawing from it. This, our rishis portray as conservation of energy so that it can be channelized for development of inner attitude of non-attachment. How do we do it? The desire prompted actions have to be reduced. Point number one. Reduction in kamya karmas. You know this, all the types of karma that we have talked about. We have seen this in our prior lectures, even in chapter 2. reduction in kamya karmas, avoidance of nishiddha karmas, prohibited actions. Then he takes it further. Niyatam kuru karmatvam कर्मज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः नियतं कुरु कर्मत्वम् कर्मज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः. One more time together. नियतं कुरु कर्मत्वम् कर्मज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः. Then niyatam karmam kuru, the nitya karma, our daily obligatory duties, naimittika karma, our occasional duties enjoined by others, they should all be performed to the best of our ability. Why? Simply because they must be done, because they have to be done with that attitude. Nishkama karma, without any expectation, not doing it for praise, prashamsa. Here Bhagavan Krishna is saying, niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hyakarmanah. You do all your obligatory duties because action is superior to akarmanah, inaction. Niyatam kuru. Do this diligently. See, every stage, at every phase in our lives, we have duties, we have responsibilities. If we are working, we have that to the organization that we are working to execute to the best of our ability. We cannot plead ignorance of our responsibility. We know what we are responsible for at work. So ignorance is not an excuse. And all our duties must be done without expectation of any reward. See, if you notice, in the younger generation, there is a dangerous, harmful thing that is happening. By the what? By these participation trophies that we have given them. Our younger generation, they've grown up expecting some sort of reward for everything that they do. And when they become older, you might have noticed, they'll become disappointed when there is no reward for something that they're expected to do, even if there is no reward. Now, we have seen how to perform actions as an act of worship. We need to do this with deep love for what we do, with a spirit of sacrifice, with all care and efficiency, without raga dvesha, without likes and dislikes, without prejudice, selfishness. Most importantly, doing with utmost dedication. We have seen this in Upanishad before, so I don't have to elaborate it anymore. Now let us see how it is outlined in Bhagavad Gita. Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. One more time. Yagnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. This is Arpita Buddhi. Our Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanand ji, called this the Yagna spirit. Yagna means a cooperative, endeavor. Cooperative endeavor, wherein a bunch of individuals come together, sinking their differences, personal differences, rising above selfishness, and work for a common cause. This is Yagna spirit. Selfless action. And the benefit, the results of the Yagna, the benefit of which is reaped by all the folks that are involved. I hope you got the point. This is worshipful attitude of doing any job. Arpita Buddhi, Yagna spirit. A spirit of dedication. It could be a community activity. It could be a personal activity. This sadhaka is ready to pour himself as an oblation in the spirit of service. Dedication like a yagna. Let us reflect on this a little bit. What is the altar or yagna we are dedicating our actions to? See, a lot of time on the government buildings in India, they say Jana Seva is Janardana Seva. The altar of dedication is our own work. Let's say if you are a doctor, you are an engineer, a manager, a director, any work we do, dedicating it to the higher purpose, higher force. See, Hanumanji's potential It was dormant as long as he served under Sugriva. And then when he dedicated it to Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, infinite potential. The higher the altar of dedication, the greater is the inspiration. The higher the manifestation of our potential. Simple equation. When we do with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, while performing the action, when it becomes cheerful acceptance of the results as his prasada, then every action we do becomes that oblation in this Homakunda of life. And continuing, Saha Yagna Praja Sruchtva Saha Yagna Praja Sruštva Urovacha Prajapatihi Urovacha Prajapatihi Saha Yagna Praja Sruštva Urovacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishyadvam Yeshavostvishta kamadhuk. One more time together. Saha yagna praja sruštva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam Yeshavostvishta kamadhuk. The Lord here, Bhagavan Krishna, through the words of sages and scriptures, has commanded all of us to work with this yagna spirit. And he says, success is guaranteed if it is followed diligently. Anena prasavishyadvam Yeshavostvishta kamadhuk. This kamadhuk, this kamadhenu, it's a mythological cow. In the story, it belongs to sage Vasishtha, from which all our desires could be fulfilled. When we act with that spirit of sacrifice, with that discipline, with that cooperation, Bhagavan Krishna says success is guaranteed. That attitude of performing actions, karma in the spirit, in the yagna spirit, is renunciation. That is tyaga. Kind of like that coconut tree that we see. What does it do? It takes water from the ground. What kind of water? With all the dirty water we pour, we offer it. It sweetens it, keeps it high in the head, and gives it up to the traveler or any passerby to quench their thirst. If you look at everything in nature, is giving, giving, giving. producing more than it consumes, giving more than it takes. Similarly, our actions in this yajna spirit should be for the welfare of all. So let's stop here. We will explore next week how to develop this continuous giving, how to give up other unnecessary things, how to develop this attitude of gratitude. Next week, same time, same place, but let us do Namasmaranam. Radhe, 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 Radhe Govinda, Radhe, 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 Radhe Govinda, Vrindavana Chanda, Vrindavana Chanda, Anatanata Dina Bandhu, Radhe Govinda, Anatanata Dina Bandhu, Radhe Govinda. Nanda Kumara Navanita Chora Radhe Govinda, Nanda Kumara Navanita Chora Radhe Govinda, Vrindavana Chanda, Vrindavana Chanda, Anatanata Dina Bandhu Radhe Govinda, Anatanata Dina Bandhu Radhe Govinda. Radhe Govinda, Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. We will continue with the other two next week. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I will open it up for our